Facing the 22-year veteran, Paul Ratcliffe. Well, 30 years later, the rivalry resumes. Stanford and NC State, now conference foes. It's a Cardinal club in that 1-0 loss to Wake. A little out of system, didn't play to their strengths in the result Thursday night against number 13 Wake. But as we'll touch on this week, Wake with wins over Virginia and Stanford in the same week. That is not an easy result. So the Wolfpack with Jade Bordelot, fresh off a hat trick, sends it forward. Lohner, though, offside. Talk to Tim Santoro. Possession, he knows his team will not have as much of the ball, but avoiding some costly turnovers is important today. Very important. It's funny because both teams are looking for the same thing today. It's very hot outside. Both teams play a possession style format, and NC State, when they get in their rhythm and they're able to possess and connect, this is when they thrive. They're a very good, solid team when that happens. So they're definitely going to be looking for consistency in that today. That's the All-American Mita Buddha earning the throw for Stanford. She's a sophomore to Pittsburgh. You look up and down this Stanford lineup, loaded with Mac Hermann Trophy watch list players, especially with Keita Hata, 18 career goals, the anchor of this offense on that left side. What Ratcliffe noted with Andrea, it's her connectivity with this club. Not just a great goal scorer, but personally connects well with the unit. This back four for the Cardinal, only 3 goals surrendered all year, and one was on Thursday against Wake Forest. That's been the strength of a reigning national finalist. And now a throw in for the Cardinal, who at 8-0 already have 3 ranked wins, including a really nice Santa Clara victory at home earlier this month. Here's into space for Buddha. Centering for Kohler. Kohler can connect from distance. And a good shot early on. With how many bodies are packed defensively for NC State, that could be an option here for Stanford. As Paul Ratcliffe comes in, one of the most successful coaches, 3-time national champ for the Cardinal. He noted this week the importance of getting his girls comfortable in an ACC environment. Exactly, and it's funny enough, you know, Stanford, big shakeup in the ACC this year, obviously with Stanford coming in, SMU and Cal. But kind of a fun new challenge for him as we were chatting with him pregame. He's learning the facilities, the coaches, the systems for his players and how best to support them. So despite his 22 seasons and a tremendous, legacy that he's left, it's fun for him to kind of take up almost like turn a new page in a sense, for just to challenge himself in his career as well. Stanford team that's been to this area many times for the College Cup and Cary, but never stepped foot on this campus until yesterday for a walkthrough. Now Mana Nakata running into open space for the Pack. And Hannah Jabril makes something happen. Lohner's pass intercepted. In matchups like this as a player, Michaela, how do you get up for this moment? How do you prepare for a top 5 number 1 matchup? I think the difference here, a lot of the players, right, being recruited to schools like this, is you come for games like this. You come for these matchups. This is what you look forward to every season. And, speaking with Coach Santoro prior to this, what's coming in a sense. So the Wolfpack, have been locked in training this week, really just trying to do the little details right to perform for a full 90 minutes today. Good clearance there from Brianna Weber. This was an NC State team that lost 3-1 versus Cal, and top ACC scorer Carly Lemma came to town, collected her 12th goal. Now a centering ball. That'll earn a corner for the Cardinal. Tim Santoro guiding his club into the national rankings earlier this year. And now with a couple of wins on his tenure, this is a You talk about RPI and resume. This is a huge moment with Notre Dame coming up next. Stanford here, back-to-back ranked games for the 12-year coach who wants to get his team back into the tournament. Opening corner for Stanford is headed 3 by Bordelot. And all of a sudden, a nice little breeze picks up on a humid Sunday here in Raleigh. I am curious if a water break's possibly needed today with the temperatures.
It would, yeah, I'm actually interested to see if that's been talked about.
You'll see those a lot of times with 15 minutes left in a period, depending on the referee's discretion. If you're asking the talent, yes, a water break would be great. For Michaela Sweeney, I'm Evan Budrovich. Perfect day here at Dale Soccer Stadium. And Stanford earns the throw. Interesting mindset-wise, we see the clearance there from OKK. Already the sense of getting the ball out of play, working the clock, allowing your defense to settle back in. And a foul there on NC State. Alex Moore with the push. Paige Tolentino will anchor the back line here on this right side along with Brianna Weber. Good collision caused there by OKK, who just played with the Canadian national team U23 the last few weeks. She returned Thursday night, played all 90 minutes for Tim Santoro. He noted her presence as a veteran and someone who can play at this high level. Now KK comes forward. Testing Jasmine Ike, the All-American defender. Warner shoots it wide. How vital is Warner's playmaking in a matchup like this?
Yeah, I was just about to highlight her. She's done really well these first 5-10 minutes or so. Be a target for NC State, which is really going to be pivotal for today, for them to be able to carry the ball forward and really just transcend lines. Being able to go from defensive third to offensive third, they're going to need a target player, and she's done really well, again, in these opening minutes to be that and hold the ball up, and as well as connect that final pass for them.
Warner now top 10 in the ACC in points. And in matchups like this where one goal could really be the difference. Santoro's liked how Warner's been creative, a little more aggressive offensively this year. As the Cardinal get it out of traffic, Shea Harvey, the Hermosa Beach native from Miracosta High School. Gorgeous high school right on the view of the ocean. It overlooks the coast off PCH.
Wow, could not say the same for my high school.
The resident California native I am. I have to always drop a little nugget where you can. A little bit of energy there from the NC State bench, shutting down the long clearance. And here's Paige Tolentino, spent a ton of time at North Carolina. Some big matchups in her tenure in NCAA tournaments. Paige actually met Stanford in a College Cup 3 years ago when she was part of Anson Dorrance's club. Stanford team that kind of surprised the nation all the way to the national finals before Florida State took home yet another title, and those two are once again neck and neck for favorites in the country. Florida State's got a tricky game today at SMU, who has 2 wins and a couple of points in their first 3 ACC matchups. The women's side, only 6 get into the tournament, so a little tougher than the men's side, where 15 make the conference. really feel the infectious energy of the state bench today.
Yeah, and you can see as long as NC State have done, again, really well in these first few moments, they're forcing Stanford to make the mistake. And you saw Stanford, again, stringing together passes. As long as NC State keeps them in front, right, and just keeps rotating together, collectively defending, they force a Stanford error there. And I think you can see that just build into the bench as well. And that energy also feeds onto the players on the field.
Here's Lizzie Boima. A good ball into the box. It does not get cleared, though, so Kitahara with a bending shot, and Protapa's right on it. That connectivity was so big for Santoro. He mentioned the first 60 minutes against Cal. He really liked how his team defended. He said after that first goal, we weren't the same form defensively. He wants to see more of that against Stanford today.
Yeah, coming off Thursday's tough loss for the Wolfpack, you know, the scoreline didn't necessarily dictate how the game was played, which is unfortunate for them, because sometimes that, you know, that can really throw off your confidence levels, especially leading into big games like this. But at the same time, Stanford losing to Wake Forest on Thursday also is a confidence builder in the sense that it shows that they can be beaten, and it shows that, you know, you come into these games, again, ranked #1 in the country, you need to respect them, but that doesn't mean you can't play against them.
To your point, Stanford had won or had decisions in 44 of their last 45.
Yes.
But here's Wake Forest beating #2 Virginia, #1 Stanford. But Wake Forest is leading Cal right now 2-0, looking to extend this red-hot start. Paul Ratcliffe, though, he was appreciative not just of the loss, but how his teams responded in practice, and he wanted this young club to be tested this week. Yes, they do return so much talent, but it is a new club, as he noted. A new formation this year, and trying to work through some of that. What a special first-team All-American right there, Jasmine Ike anchoring this defense. She's the reigning Defensive Player of the Week in the ACC. Which is weird to say when you're the Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year and the ACC Player of the Week a couple of weeks later. All part of the learning curve in this new conference. Kitahara to her right. Good ball in, centered, and off the post. Dangerous shot, and Protapa's got a paw on it.
Really good reaction here from Protapas. Kind of off the line defending. Kitahara here plays a really good ball, super dangerous.
Wow, Mia Buddha almost had that.
Yep. And she did a really nice job connecting here, just getting it on frame, and that's a really good opportunity. Definitely the most dangerous we've seen of the day so far.
It shows you the playmaking of Kitahara, not just the 18 career goals, but the 20 career assists. She can make some passes happen. There's the captain, redshirt junior, who's a great squash player as well for the Stanford Cardinal on the collegiate squash team, and her brother was a squash player at Cal.
That is quite impressive.
By the way, if you've seen Cal Twitter this week, it's been fantastic. Seeing some of the memes and the bear pictures all across Twitter. You get the Calgorithm. I went down a rabbit hole a couple nights ago reading through some of that Twitter conversation.
Really? Hey, it does not take much to
battle for the big
get
axe.
Stuck in the doom scrolling.
When Stanford and Cal meet every year, that is a fantastic rivalry. Here's Marin Wolf, fittingly named here at NC State for Stanford, working in the middle. Klinger centers. Nine back defensively for the Pack, and Bordelot wins it. KK into trouble. That one's dispossessed, forcing Weber to clear. Buddha into space. Wow, these Stanford front lines cause so much trouble. Good battle there with Tolentino, the Carolina transfer. But Stanford wins it back with Emery. As our lead referee ties the sneakers real quick. Here's Stanford back on the ball. Kitahara to her left, and just over Protopoulos.
And NC State have to be really careful there. A bad turnover in the midfield, which led to a really good scoring opportunity and dangerous position here for Kitahara. Has a quick footwork on top of the box and lets one rip, and that didn't get enough dip on it to really put it on frame, but again, really dangerous opportunity. It just shows one quick turnover and they're going straight to goal.
Kitahara, two-time All Pac-12, and she's really excelled early in this year. 5 quick goals for the Cardinal. Game winner against USC, a longtime conference rival. There's Ike with a promising ball. That's dispossessed by Tolentino. Here's one of the elite athletes for NC State, Hannah Jabril, in a foot race. Woner wins the header. Woner turns. Woner wants to center. And a goal kick, no touch.
Absolute physical battle here. Really good defending, really good attacking, and this just you can just see them both. The urgency to either defensively keep it out or attacking make something out of it, and that was just a good battle there by those two.
And if you're Ella Emery, you've started the last 3 matches with All-American Elise Evans playing for the U23 American team. She's filled in quite nicely this last month. What a task. You come to campus a month ago, and now you're starting in huge ACC matches. As that time Emery kicked it out of play. Evans expected to join the team this week. She just won bronze last night for the U23 National Club. If you're new to Raleigh, expect to hear vuvuzelas all afternoon. It is a staple of the Red Terror student section here at NC State. The Cardinal, who were previously unblemished in 15 straight road outings, fell Thursday night, searching for a response. Woner plays it forward. OKK racing. OKK to the box. Good move off the line for Haley Craig.
Tremendous effort here by OKK. Showing off pace and a ton of effort just to bomb forward. Here again, connecting with Woner, turns on the ball, releases. Great pass here, right amount of weight and touch. It's just that foot race there. And
a smart play by Craig to avoid the feet of OKK and not commit the penalty the other way.
And on the flip side, this is great defending by Kitahara, again, chasing down on both sides of the ball, but
keep in mind the attacking midfielder Kitahara chasing OKK all the way.
Say if she did not track back, then OKK was going for goal there.
One of the elite athletes for NC State. She's back from a Canadian national appearance. And there's the legend Paul Ratcliffe, a UCLA alum, now coaching up Stanford 22 years. One of the best to do it in the sport. Alex Moore shoots one out of play. As a defender, though, and even a midfielder, there's so much pressure Stanford provides. It does force quick decisions.
Definitely.
Even keeping the ball at times can add up the stress and the workload of a team that plays so far forward with numbers. Wanting to get Kitahara involved, just past her foot. Andrea, who had a great chance in the 30th minute Thursday night, just hit the post. Otherwise, that could have been a difference maker for Stanford against Wake Forest. Nakata with a dribbling display. She's always fun to watch on the ball. Little Tasmanian devil. That time dispossessed. Wolf tracking. Pertapos clears.
Yeah, Nakata isn't someone that we've highlighted quite yet in this game, but really finding her form, quite frankly, in the past few games for NC State. Really good performance in Wilman Mary, and she opened up the scoring against Cal on Thursday. But really pivotal piece for the Wolfpack this year, just on the ball, so technically clean, but also she drives a lot attacking-wise, really just being that connector piece. She runs in behind, great job finding feet, and you can see just very dangerous on the turn.
That 55th minute goal gave the Pack an early lead against Cal Thursday. And then Wake Forest, 3 straight goals late in the second half to prevail. Let's see if the Pack can pass out of trouble. Emery heads it forward. Good touch by Klinger to win it. Now the defender, Wamo, comes forward. Here's into space for Kohler. Kohler to her left. Just wide at Pertapos.
And that's been the second or third time we've seen Kohler. She does a really good job getting into these areas that make her very dangerous, very dynamic, and really just adding, again, to the Stanford front line by finding these pockets, being able to turn and just make opportunities happen.
You see Jaden Thomas come in up top for Stanford, along with Joel Jung. The sophomore checks in, and Kelly Pagador, the defender, senior defender. There are 2 Jaden Thomases out there, one in Cardinal, one in white. Oop, there's some contact. Everyone's okay. No relation, of course, but a neat moment. There's Thomas on the ball, forcing trouble. Top scorer for NC State, Woner, plays it backwards. It's impressive how organized Stanford is in open play. They lose the ball in possession, and quickly defenders get in the right spots. Cardinal Club surrendered just 3 goals all year, the second best scoring defense coming in. That one just a bit high for Kitahara. Jasmine Ike, the most experience for Stanford, 57 career matches, anchors this back line. She's on the Mac Herman Trophy watch list. National Player of the Year recognition. In fact, 3 players for Stanford have been ranked in the national conversations. Gives you a sense of how dominant this club's been. Kelly Pagador subs in, and now wears the captain band. Good battle there. Chisholm wins it away from Jaden Thomas. Taylor Chisholm, who entered the lineup late last year, has been a great addition here in 24.
Yeah, really, again, solidified herself as a key role, you know, gets many of the starts for the Wolfpack, comes up really big individual in her individual defending, good in the air, has a strong presence, and from a communication piece, really seems to dominate with organization and leading the team when it comes to that. But yeah, just that consistency for her. I know she had a really good performance this summer, playing with the NC Courage Academy. I think they won nationals. So coming in good form and, you know, is really taking her stride with the team as well.
The Wilmington native anchors the back line of NC State's defense. Wolfpack searching for their first #1 ranked win since 2002. That was over Carolina. And now the Wolfpack get a free kick. First major opportunity here for NC State as we tick under 20 minutes. Ball in, headed away by Emery, and a quick clearance. Joel Jung stepping in. Joel's sister, Stephanie, a standout all-conference for Columbia in the Ivy League. OKK, good ball forward. Thomas, just past her reach. And now one more change as Ali Montoya gets her first minutes. Third team All Pac-12 a year ago. Her mom and dad who met at Santa Clara, both as soccer standouts. On average, you'll see Stanford bring in 8 or 9 substitutes a match. This is a very open rotation for Paul Rutcliffe.
Yeah, prior to this game, again, speaking with him before the game, he definitely wanted to see a lot of movement with his team from the subbing standpoint, with the heat and just managing players. Again, on the road, it's difficult, and between all the travel, the buses, the time change, all of those play a factor. And his team has the depth this year to rotate frequently, so he wants to utilize that.
On the Stanford Twitter account, it was biscuits and soccer this morning was the post for 10 a.m. West Coast time. It is a body adjustment. Stanford typically will play one East Coast trip a year, usually early, late August, early September. But now in the conference, that's part of the norm with trips to Louisville and Notre Dame coming up later in the month. The Cardinal will host Duke and UNC, so they split the Carolina schools up 2v2. NC State will hit the road for another top 10 team, Notre Dame, with a great start this year. They have multiple ranked wins. Here's Thomas playing it back. Loose deflection. Kitahara's ball is scooped up by Weber. Emery with space. Montoya's first touch. Emery back out wide, but that goes out of play. It has seemed the organization of that back seven for NC State, very compacted and connected.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, NC State have done a really solid job. Again, first, or approaching under 15 now. first 30 minutes, just really staying connected and in line. Stanford have definitely had some chances, but overall, I think the Wolfpack have equally looked as threatening with some of their opportunities that they've had. And I think it's now it's like as we enter the last 15 minutes of the first half, to be sharp mentally, to kind of keep those and like exploiting spaces like this is
Here's
what
Kitahara centering it in. Ooh, a bobble, and Pertapos able to jump on.
Right. When Stanford are able to exploit those pockets of space that NC State leave open, that's where the Cardinals are proposing the most threat. Overall, cohesively in the first half, NC State have done a good job. It's those pockets of those moments, right, that they have to really be careful of. And then largely NC State has been defending, I would say, in their third, primarily in this first half. I just pose a question of timing. How long, right? It's hot. They haven't made any subs. Just how long this team can kind of keep that momentum.
There's a ball for Kitahara. Her last goal against St. Mary's 3 weeks ago, looking to get back on the scorecard. Kitahara versus Okeke. Nice ball in, deflected, just wide. The back heel of Montoya nearly makes it 1-0.
Really good individual effort here. Drives it toward the end line, puts a dangerous ball in the box, I'm sorry.
Ooh.
And narrowly misses the post here. And you can see the Wolfpack defense just scrambling. Just a big scramble in the middle of the box there.
That's the value of putting centering balls on target. Not always shots, but even ricochets can be dangerous. Stanford does sub in one more. Sammy Smith, who celebrates her birthday today, checks in for her first minutes, the freshman out of Boise, Idaho. That'll be a fun birthday flight if Stanford gets the win today. Thankfully, Sammy's sister's Logan, also part of the program, as this ball plays forward to Eleanor Klinger. Klinger inside the box. Works into space. Klinger on target. No, just cleared. Ooh, Tolentino. Good foot out of traffic.
Let's go. Yes,
Can the Pack release this pressure? You start to see here Stanford connecting balls.
Yeah, you can kind of see the Wolfpack defense just wearing a little bit, and I wonder if it is this. It's hard to manage this pressure for a full 45. You can definitely tell legs are getting a little heavy. The Cardinals almost knocking at the door here, and you wonder if one of these opportunities is going to slip one in.
You mentioned it, but no subs yet for NC State. 5 substitutes for Stanford. That could play a factor here in the second half. Looks like both clubs ready to make some late changes here in the final minutes. The newly on Sammy Smith makes a run for this, but that's over her shoulders. This is a fun fact. Sammy Smith, she competed for the U.S. ski team in high school.
Wow.
You talk about dual sport athlete.
That is incredible.
I would pay to watch the birthday girl celebrate on some slopes here in the western part of the state.
I love to hear stories like that.
Traveled the country competing.
Talk about
in
an
both
athlete.
sports.
Yeah, wow. That's incredible.
And Sammy wins the ball back for Stanford.
I'm sure she wishes she was on the slopes today than maybe in this heat.
Well, it is the first week of fall, so maybe there's some snow starting to fall across the country. Had some record heats in Raleigh last week, but finally cooling off into the low 80s. For those new to the area, low 80s with humidity. Still feels like 90, but it's a touch cooler than typical. Now Stanford in the run of play here with Joel Jung. Stanford break down this organized defense. Nakata plays it forward. Eight shots for the Cardinal, forcing 3 saves in this first half by Pertapis. Here's Thomas winning it back. Thomas to her left, and a quick save for Pertapis. She's been up to the task today, Michaela.
Highlighted her in the Open. It was going to take a big individual performance today, and so far she's shown really, really well in this first 45.
This year's Stanford team a little different than last year's finalists. They were plus 40 in goal differential. This year's team so stout defensively. We know Kitahara with the 5 goals, but a little more balance than the 23 club, which does present its own set of challenges, even with so much talent and strength. As both teams make a flurry of subs. Lumi Kosmeyer comes in for Stanford. There she is. Abby Hugh in for NC State, along with Antonella Macioto. Olivia Kelly also coming in. I think both coaches heard our thoughts on getting bodies in on a warm
Providing
day.
some relief here. Getting some fresh legs in to carry out the last 10 minutes.
Kelly, the New Hampshire transfer, shoots this wide. New legs, Abby Hugh into the match, testing Smith. Abby, the Marshall transfer. Good hustle by Pagador to keep it. Now she runs forward for Kosmeyer, the Connecticut product, and that's out of play. One more sub for the Pack. That's Mary Frances Sims coming in, who's had great minutes, especially here in the month of September. Even talking to Tim this week, he liked her ability to come in moments and make things happen.
Yeah, her and Bordelot, particularly of highlight, did really strong performance in the William and Mary game, or George Washington game, I'm sorry.
The same colonialism.
Definitely standout players in those matches. I would call them impact players for sure.
As we move under 7 minutes in this first half. Kosmeyer dangerous up here up top for Stanford. Now the Pack in transition. Sims. Macioto streaking up this near side. Unable to connect with her. And every time State's wanted to run in transition, Stanford's had an answer. Smith plays it ahead to Montoya, who turns against Tolentino. Montoya, the chip in box. That will roll out, and the goal kick with Brooklyn Holt now in defensively for NC State. Here's Samantha Williams, the grad student from Laguna Beach, California, coming in. And Kitahara gets a break for these final 5 minutes. So we went from just 1 sub to 13 subs in the last 10 minutes. Here's a sprint on the ball.
And I think for both teams came at good times. You can already see a refresh of energy almost just from the fresh legs coming in.
Kosmeyer sends it wide. And you could see Lumi looking to direct traffic with a lot of these new pieces coming in for Stanford. Here's Smith, the Gatorade Player of the Year out of Idaho. Working towards the 18, turns. Good ball, Kosmeyer deflected. Playing it back. And the Pack survive another chance. Pagador. Montoya searching and a block by Holt. Holt, who spent a lot of time in the lineup while Okeke was competing internationally. Good minutes here. There's Kosmeyer. Opening space, there's a deflected shot off of Weber, and Kelly forced to flick it wide. Kosmeyer again. She's got a strong boot. The Connecticut product blasts one to Pertapas.
Shot by number 33, Kosmeyer.
And that quick reaction there, just to fire off a shot, is so hard to defend. Good on Pertapas there. Collectively didn't pose a threat. But that definitely makes her, Kosmeyer, very unpredictable up top.
They're in the final 2 minutes of this first half. We'll hear from Tim Santoro heading into the break. Be curious his thoughts on how this back line's played as there's a deflected ball. Rosie Olu doing the honors of assisting her teammate. And now can Stanford manufacture another chance late in this half? 10 shots in the first for the Cardinal. Pagador on the 1v1, keeps it in play. Kelly on the move. And a throw in for Stanford. That is actually rolled an NC State throw by our lead referee, Ashley Cedro. Final minute here in this first half as NC State wins the ball and now earns a free kick. Antonella Macioto there on possession, the talented freshman out of Uruguay. Second free kick for the Pack in a dangerous position. This is Olivia Kelly. What can Kelly dial up? One of the few chances of the half. Kelly centers. Keeper rises with a punch. And a pile of bodies behind the goalkeeper, Haley Craig. Inside of 20 seconds. Moore shoots one in. Keeper rises again. Still loose. A shot deflected. And able to keep it in play to avoid the corner. Couple of quality chances late for NC State, but this game remains knotted up. We are neutral. 0-0 here at halftime. A good battle here in this ACC opening weekend. You can tell if you're NC State, a couple of chances late. Stanford, the 10 early shots, presenting a lot of opportunities.
You know, we heard from Coach Santoro prior to the half. Really pleased so far with the opening 45. And that was going to be the message to the team, to kind of just keep that work ethic, keep that mentality. I think they proved to themselves, not that they needed proving, but I think they did it for themselves, that they can compete. And again, they had the opportunities. They were catching them on the counter. They were finding opportunities. So just really leading into the second half to kind of keep that energy.
Opening moments of the second half. Stanford entering the box. And earning a goal kick. That actually did last touch the attacker, Lizzie Boima. So you played so hard for 45 if you're State defensively. How do you continue that here in the second half?
And I think that's going to be the question mark, right? Legs are heavy coming off the first 45. The Wolfpack did a ton of running. Same thing for Stanford. Stanford did see a few more substitutions, so a few more fresher legs coming in to kind of relieve some of that pressure. But for the Wolfpack, it's going to be really key to communicate, be mentally locked in. I think this is where the fitness, right, that you saw in preseason, some of those non-conference games, that's where all of that matters here. Really just to stay tuned in and again, stay organized, as you said.
NC State at 3-5-1. This is a pinnacle moment in terms of early conference, as a second ball has been thrown into play, so they'll clear that up real quick. The Pack trying to manage this early pressure from Stanford. 10 shots in the first half. The Cardinal Club has only dropped one Pac-12 match all year last season, looking to avoid an 0-2 start in the ACC. Good ball out wide. Montoya, 1v2. Jung chips one on, and Pratap is there. Olivia with 6 career shutouts, but this could arguably be her best so far. That battle of Kitahara and Okeke has been fun to watch today. An All-American attacker and an All-ACC caliber defender. Good turn on the ball for Avani Brandt, who's just come in. She's the New York product, a senior defender. And now Brandt wins it. And Jabril comes back in to start this second half for NC State. She won the ball for a moment.
You know, a few minutes ago, you asked how, if you're a Wolfpack team, how do you stay in it right after coming off this? And I think, again, we're talking about the team, we're talking about communication, organization, but I think the bare bones of it just comes down to individual effort. It's one of those things that it is not going to be fun 45 minutes. It's hot. You're tired already from chasing the from the first half. And it's just got to be an absolute grind. So I think just that mentality to just relentless in the defending is what's going to get them either a point or potentially a win. But it's that commitment to the work ethic that's going to be really the difference maker today. And you can say that for both sides.
Stanford's controlled much of the possession, but to your point, NC State is held firm against a bunch of chances. Buddha swings it over here to Smith, celebrating her birthday today. Smith plays it forward for Montoya. And Jabril with a nice screen. Smart, savvy defending. Jabril, who entered as a starter her final 6 matches last year and has started every match this year, making the most of it. 1 week into the ACC, and this conference is wide open. Vatech, SMU, the undefeated top clubs. That Wake Forest-Cal match ended in a draw. So Wake now with points in their last 3. For Notre Dame, that's a sneaky good team. 7-1-1 coming in with a win today. It just shows you 7 in the top 25. There are no off nights in this conference, which makes the race to make the tournament of the top 6 nearly impossible. That ball's deflected loose. Not that 2 matches tell us your season, Michaela, but if you're NC State, a point here is pivotal in your conference race.
Oh, against a top-ranked team, not only for, just for records and stats, but also, I mean, what a confidence boost leading into other games that you're going to be facing, because it's only going to get more competitive, right? Of course, Stanford ranked #1, but you have Florida State, you have UNC, you have Duke, you have all of these teams, and you have Wake Forest that's getting, really good start to the season. It's
how about all 4 North Carolina teams have been ranked this year?
Exactly. It's only the ACC is so competitive. So any win really is a confidence boost, but let alone a top-ranked team in the country.
NC State was ranked 25th at the end of August. Now searching for their first win since September 15th. Here's a chip ball forward, wanting Kitahara. That's where the ball played through dangerously in the first half. Here it is out wide. Kohler, a chip on. Chisholm wins it. Kohler, who was also the Gatorade Player of the Year. She was in California, out of Woodside, California, earning the throw. Kohler's low ball forces a swing and a miss. And that time a goal kick. Very fortunate bounce for NC State. These are really big minutes for Alex Moore in the midfield. 8th appearance, but her first start, with Yuna Aoki unavailable today. Four different goal scorers for Stanford, their last 4 goals. It's been a lot more balance here in 2024. Who can provide the first one tonight before a long cross-country trek home back to San Jose. San Jose Airport, obviously Stanford officially. As this ball's deflected in. A loose touch, and Okeke wins it. Palo Alto, one of the hidden gems of California. Obviously Malibu on the Southern California coast, and then up north, Palo Alto, a great college town. There's a corner kick for Stanford.
In these first 10 minutes, the Wolfpack have found difficulty in clearing some of these set pieces, these wide area balls from the Cardinals.
First corner in, deflected wide. And Protapa's begging her defenders to push the lines forward.
Maybe I should re-correct myself there. Not necessarily clearing, but finding a connection with another Wolfpack teammate. Just haven't really, found feet so far in these opening 10 minutes to build anything going forward.
Yeah, Stanford's had a lot of possession, a lot of the second balls. But to the Pack's credit, they have limited chances. Here's Smith. Wiggles through traffic. Tolentino on the coverage, and here's a goal kick. What a huge transfer across town in the portal from Carolina.
I'm saying good defending here, just to get her foot on it. Made the error there, but kind of fought back there individually to force a goal kick.
Page, who started in the matchup here when Carolina was #1 in the country last year. Now an anchor of Tim Santoro's defense for her grad year. And that time NC State wins the throw. I love when both teams point in the opposite direction on those high headers.
Right, exactly.
All cleared up by Ashley Cedro. With the newly married Michaela Sweeney, I'm Evan Budrovich. Good matchup here in Raleigh. Charlotte Kohler creating some traffic, playing wide. If you dig through the NC State books or through any college books, it's Michaela Van Manen. If you're wondering where do I find those stats online. Jabril's dispossessed. Even 15 minutes into the second half, Stanford very patient in its approach offensively. Not sensing frustration yet from a club that's gone nearly 3 full matches without a goal. Adekita. Kita moves to her right. Centers in. Montoya. Good shield by Tolentino. Smith. Out wide. Jung. Dangerous cross. Kita puts it through. Wow, Stanford finally on the board. It'd been a minute. But one of the best to do it in the ACC makes it 1-0.
Goal number 6 for her, and it was a good one. Really just sheer force and a central playmaker here in the middle of the park. Nice ball from a wide area. Finds a really good ball in the box, and here you see Kita unmarked, not really challenged, but great contact here.
And I apologize there, Jasmine Ike finish. They're right neck and neck together. So Ike with her 22nd career goal. I apologize, they were right neck and neck, both in for the header.
I think it threw us off that, you know, the center back is in the middle of the park.
Oh, certainly a big result here for Stanford, needing a goal.
And coming into the second half, you know, in the first half we saw her more in the back line, and just being an unpredictable player she is. She's been their target number 9 up top for them, so fantastic finish.
The Mac Herman Trophy watch list standout. Look at more pressure for Stanford. Here's Kita. Montoya's turn on target. And a nice save. And Stanford built on this momentum of an opening goal. Grant playing into space out wide for Boama. Boama, does she earn the corner though? Okay, yes she does. Opportunity for Stanford. So back-to-back quality chances here for the Cardinal. Protopis with her 6th save.
Just good reactionary shot stopping there from Protopis.
Here's the corner. Ooh, dangerous ball. But that time, Kita jumping into the keeper.
And you can see now just that sense of energy that the Cardinals are bringing into their offensive play. And this is where the Wolfpack need to be very careful. You can kind of see, again, Cardinals consistently knocking at the door here. And just almost take a breath. Again, be committed to that relentless effort to individually defend and be really good and just kind of tighten up a little bit. But I think as well as when they win the ball, of just having the composure to find feet and to play.
As Nakata chases down for the pack, Stanford's been able to corral any opportunities for NC State. A Stanford team who had not trailed all year in a match until Thursday night at Wake. They get the first goal here, 15 minutes into the second. Smith and Jabril in a bit of a tussle. Sophie Murdoch has been newly inserted defensively for Stanford. Another piece for this deep club for Paul Radcliffe. Now Boama. What can Lizzie drop? One of the former captains for Stanford. Boama centers way high from Ike, wanting a second. Eleanor Klinger will re-enter the match. And Kelly Pagador, who had great minutes in the first half, she'll come in here 30 minutes to play. Pagador anchored a defense that pitched 14 shutouts last year. That was second best in the country. Here's Buddha. One slips through. Great finish from Ike. Stanford wanting one more. Into the box. Okeke forcing the goal kick. And now a 5-pack of subs for NC State. Holt and Kelly and Hugh come in, joined by Mary Frances Sims. And up top, Antonella Maciotto comes in.
You know, Coach Santoro here probably just looking to invigorate some life back into his team, just kind of give that confidence boost with some fresh legs, you know, being able to provide the pressure as you see Maziota.
Especially now chasing a goal.
I think the key here, the question is just not letting that level drop, being able to provide the relief, but still staying mentally locked in where, right, with the subs coming in, it's just the change. Sometimes you see in the level drop at times where you want to see that consistency here. And if not, improve it, you know?
Tim Santoro's club, who's had multiple rank wins the last 3 years. This would be a crown jewel, but right now, chasing a goal. As Weber shoots it forward. There's Sammy Smith on the ball. Stanford's been so comfortable in this back third of NC State. Murdoch fresh into the match. Smith plays it forward. Onside and a dangerous chance. Ike testing Protapas. Stanford continues to win the ball dangerously. Referee letting them play off that contact. One more sub for the Cardinal, Erica Grillione, the Roseville, California native, all freshman Pac-12 team a year ago. Stanford has now gone 10 deep in substitutes in this match. It's a long travel week, departing early Wednesday, arriving late Wednesday night with a time change. A loss Thursday night at Wake, but a good response here in Raleigh today. With the caveat of classes starting next week at Stanford.
It is the Cardinals haven't been in school yet compared to most teams in the ACC have been in school for, what, over a month or so now?
Yeah, the quarter and semester system, definitely a change to the academic calendar. Stanford, who was neck and neck with Texas last year for the NCAA College Cup. That's the all-sport championship. Always fun to see an elite program like the Cardinal come into town. Three-time national champs here on the women's soccer side. Facing a club at NC State that's been to multiple Sweet 16s under Tim Santoro. Ike with the long ball. Nice tracking from the new sub, Grillione. And those clouds are playing wonders out here. Bright and dark. It is a warm day here in Raleigh, mid-80s for this 1 o'clock start. Now a long ball for the Pack. Opportunity kept in. Maciotto, second chance. Chipped on, just wide. Just no angle there for NC State.
Great breakthrough here for the Wolfpack. And you saw leading up to this, Mary Frances Sims on the turn in the midfield that had a lot of space, unmarked. Plays a nice ball in behind. I almost thought it was going to be too heavy, but Jade Bordelot on her bike here showed tremendous speed. And really, Wolfpack's first chance of the second half, but definitely a dangerous one.
Tried to connect with Hugh on the back end of this shot. One of the better chances for NC State. They now have 2 shots in the match. Have been solid defensively, but the Ike goal the difference. A Stanford club searching for its first ACC win. New members of the conference will most likely fall from the #1 spot, but playing very well here in Raleigh today. Here's the chip ball for Smith, a little ahead of her. What a gorgeous day, great crowd here at Dale Soccer Stadium. The start of fall this week, and it still feels like summer, at least in Raleigh today. as today is the official first day of fall. Get out and enjoy some leaves when you get a chance this afternoon. Stanford stays onside. Leon plays it back. Another moment for the Cardinal. This is centered. Oh, dangerous for Montoya.
Stanford have been really dangerous in the second half with these balls from wide areas. Unable to find the connection piece there.
Montoya wins it again for Jung. Jung chips it forward. Weber to clear. As we move to the final 20 minutes. Smith again. Can the Cardinal make it to Montoya? A bit late on that run.
And I think these subs came at a really good time for NC State. I know we talked 10 minutes ago to see if they would, keep the level up, and not only, keeping the level, I think they've improved it, and really this game has opened up a bit for the Wolfpack's favor. Have been able to get the ball a bit more, find some passes, but really the big thing for me, what I'm seeing is they're not defending so deep in their own half, where we saw really at the start of the second half, they were defending very deep, and I think that's, was a symptom of that first goal. But now you see that the game has opened up. They've been able to find spaces in the midfield. Their midfielders are getting on the ball and they're able to connect a bit more. So just looking for consistency.
Has just checked in, the senior defender, another sub here for Coach Santoro.
Yep.
Soto, an energizer, an instigator at the midfield position. Smith, great ball to Montoya. Montoya centers. Ike wanted a connecting pass. Stanford very clinical here in the last 10 minutes. Header comes out. Ball not cleared. Out wide to Pagador. She shoots one in. Weber's header down. And Montoya earns the goal kick. The crowd fitting for an ACC opening weekend.
Yeah, despite the heat, definitely a good amount of fans out today.
The Pack will next be home October 3rd, so it'll be a minute until soccer returns here to Dale Soccer Stadium as Janado KK returns. There's the goal scorer, Jasmine Ike. A great finish on the header for her 22nd career goal. Here's Brooklyn Holt, fresh into the match for State. Here's Montoya with a great second half, testing NC State. Good dispossession. Sims plays it ahead to Nakata. Can the Pack create something? There's Mary Frances Sims. Sims centers. A late Soto comes in. It's going to take a little bit of individual brilliance here for the Pack to score.
Mary Frances Sims, again, coming in as a sub, but in what 2 opportunities the Wolfpack have had, she's been the pivotal player surrounding both opportunities. You see her bombing forward from a defensive presence, connecting, and then making a run in behind, and she's just box-to-box midfielder.
Abby Hugh with some good minutes at that midfield position, holding off. As the Pack earn the throw, 15 minutes remaining. An opening week in the ACC where Vatek and SMU remain the undefeateds. North Carolina has done well. They're in a good battle with Syracuse at the moment. And then that next tier, Stanford wants to get a win. Their first ever in the conference. Maybe a chance for 2 here. Ike. Now it's Smith. Ike. So much back defensively for State. Agador with a slide and earns the throw. And now the goal scorer, Jasmine Ike, able to exit after her 22nd career goal. This was a huge moment, just 20 minutes prior. And this is the difference here for Stanford, Michaela.
Again, highlighted as Mac Herman Trophy watch list, and you can see why. Defensive presence on the back line and on the front line. Beautiful finish there. Connects really well with it in the box. And just puts it in the back of the net.
It was the 13th and biggest shot here for Stanford. Just give NC State a ton of credit defensively. There haven't been many cracks in that back line. And the Palo Alto native, homegrown goal scorer. It had been a match at Wake. Paul Ratcliffe noted some frustration, not able to finish inside the 18, but that time a perfect header. Pack forced to send some numbers forward with Soto. Does open some opportunities. Here's Marin Wolf among a den of Wolfpack defenders. Brooklyn holding strong and earns the throw for NC State. And now subs for both squads. This will re-enter their top scorer. Annika Woner re-enters for the Pack. Masioto will exit. And for Stanford, Shea Harvey, the sophomore from Hermosa Beach, re-enters. The All-Pac-12 standout a year ago. She'll give Montoya a breather after some great minutes. Well, now for Tim Santoro, you've gone all hands on deck with your top playmaker back in. Ooh, a bit of a tackle there. Just a foul. No personal foul on that. Clean form on the finish.
Yeah, similar storyline here, I think, with Coach Santoro, with his team. I think, you know, as it stands with the score line, he's probably really pleased with how his team has played besides 10 minutes. And sometimes, again, all it takes is 10 minutes for a good team to punish you, and that's the circumstance they're under. But overall, the Wolfpack have definitely built off of, or showing signs of that consistency, right? That's that question mark that he's posed throughout the season. And, you know, they're still maybe not quite there yet,
How about this dangerous ball? Stanford onside. Pertopis gets beat. Marin Wolf howling into the night for a 2-0 goal. Marin Wolf beats the keeper near side, and the San Diego product puts the exclamation point on the Stanford road trip.
Great ball in behind here. Weber just didn't see her coming in. Great run. It was very dangerous, hard to defend. And this is a tremendous angle to make a clinical opportunity, but just beats Pertopis on her near post there.
And a Wolf screams at the home of the Wolfpack. That's a dagger if you're NC State. Played so well up until that moment.
And that individual brilliance there from Wolf, just such a, that's so hard to do at times, just to kind of bend that near post, and she did it beautifully. And now Stanford are in a very comfortable position leading into these last 10 minutes, sitting 2-0 up on the road. And I think this is, you know, the result and the performance that they wanted, and that now at this point, as it stands, they're getting it.
So we near the 10-minute mark. Chasing one is a challenge. Chasing two is a whole different set of circumstances. Paul Ratcliffe noted he wanted to see a character and a response from his club today. Certainly a quality 90 minutes for Stanford.
Yeah, I think he'll be really happy with his team. You know, he highlighted, hello everybody.
Hey guys, thanks for watching today.
He highlighted the effort that he saw in the first half that he was really pleased with from the team, and just the work rate. And again, leading into the second half, we highlighted at the beginning of it that was probably going to be the difference maker today with some of that. And, you know, I think Stanford have just stayed strong in that, have worked really well as a team collectively. And
there's a late header in that'll test with Logan Smith now in the match. Both Smith sisters in there. Logan on the field while her sister celebrates her birthday today. More options for the Cardinals. We enter 10 minutes. There's a good through ball, deflection. A dangerous chance for Marin Wolf again. Stanford has now brought in 12 subs today, including Nia Harrison just back in, the California native, San Diego product. There's Nia. Fry a speaker cutter, lost the ball. So here's NC State with possession. Despite the two results here, losses to Cal and Stanford, a lot to take here for Tim Santoro the next week.
definitely. You know, again, collectively, defensively, they've had really good moments where they've forced Stanford to make the errors as they've been so tight and organized in the back line. I think it's just one of those things that, again, good teams punish just off a moment of relapsing.
What a great slide tackle for Mary Frances Sims. Might be earning more playing time here in ACC play.
And again, she is someone that has been of highlight to me, has been an impact player for this Wolfpack team. The string of a few games recently that she's came in, made immediate, just a difference maker, both defensively, you saw there, and offensively.
Stanford wanting a third. Harvey gets a deflection. Pagador chips on. Low angling shot, but Pertopis with her 7th save. You hear the celebration from that Stanford bench. They're having fun with all the substitutes coming in. And that's all led by Jasmine Ike, the goal scorer who broke this match open. Oh, thanks to the young ball girls over there helping out. Local youth soccer league. They've been quick today.
They have
Every
been.
time that ball goes out, it's right back in play.
They're on it.
Great soccer culture here in the Raleigh area, especially in the youth leagues in Cary and Apex and the surrounding cities, Garner, you name it. The ACC tournament will be right here in Cary, coming up starting November 3rd for those first round matchups, all the way to the championship finals of the College Cup in early December. Both clubs ready to make a few subs as Stanford presses numbers forward. There's a deflected shot from Grillion. Now our line ref with the flag. Offside flag there. Harrison shoots one on. Oh, it is relenting pressure from Stanford, even up two. As Lumi Kosmeyer re-enters for the Cardinal, and here for NC State, a couple of new faces that will return. Jabril and Moore come back in. As Tim Santoro bringing in his bench. And Jaden Thomas will get her first minutes. So both Thomases in, one for Stanford, one for NC State. Nakata wins the ball back for the Pack. Good backheel touch. Soto shoots one on. Roner. Moore off the top. Great chance for the Pack. Hold on a second here.
And a spark of life there from the Wolfpack. Great opportunity here from Alex Moore. Soto gets a nice whipped in ball and really puts her laces through this nicely. And welcome to the game, Haley Craig. Definitely caught her on her toes on that one.
The All-American candidate tested here in the final minutes. Craig, who fused some huge shoes for the All-American Ryan Campbell, who was 16-1-4 a year ago. But Craig, 4 years with the program, good veteran between the posts. I love the backup keeper there, testing the ball collecting skills as it goes out of play. Just like driving a car, 10-3. Got to wrap the hands in.
Exactly. It's all in the technique.
Stanford with a late shot as the Cardinal get ready to head out of RDU here in a few minutes and fly all the way back to Northern California.
Okay, NC State.
Inside of 4 minutes to play here in this opening weekend of ACC women's soccer. Warner trying to force some trouble. You see Tim Santoro bringing lines forward out of this break. An energized bench today for the Pack. That I think were as big as anything in that first half of rallying State defensively.
They were definitely an important part in that. I mean, throughout the entire game, your bench really is such a lifeline for a team with the energy coming from it and can really just help invigorate the players on the field. whether it be through communication or just energy, encouragement.
Stanford wins the ball again. Good touch from Harvey. Kosmeyer has a strong boot. Kosmeyer deflected. Every time Lumi Kosmeyer's been near the ball, it is dangerous. The technical play of Paul Ratcliffe's club here at Stanford, it is impressive to watch at times.
And Stanford have really just, found their stride throughout this game and have built on that confidence of finding that stride. And you can see now they're just peppering.
Pagador with a late chance, and Protopis there.
Peppering the Wolfpack back line with opportunities.
And the back line that up until the 58th minute had pitched the shutout. But Ike had a huge goal on the header. There's Nakata late for NC State. Final 2 minutes. Woner staying onside. Woner off the keeper. Second ball just wide. What a moment there for NC State. Here's a corner. And you noted Haley Craig up from her lines. A great save.
Absolutely. And I think that, and see if she's onside here. She was onside, definitely. I think that was a big error on the Stanford back line.
How about
Great
the last
shot
2
stopping,
minutes?
wow.
Two really good chances for the Pack. Nakata plays the corner short. Woner deflected, but not cleared, at least out of play.
1 minute to go in the match.
And I think that's the storyline of today. I think the Wolfpack can be really, at times, happy with their performance, but I think the result has really favored the more opportunistic attacking team, which is Stanford.
Ike and Wolf, the 2 goal scorers today for the Cardinal. A ton of resolve from both these teams in the opening weekend. As NC State will head to Notre Dame for a Thursday tilt, another top 25 match. Stanford will come back home and host Miami and Pittsburgh. That'll dribble out the final seconds here in Raleigh, and the Stanford Cardinal earn their first win in ACC play. New conference and a victory for Paul Ratcliffe's club.